KSM Show.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, me did your Katachi Kwame Afrifa Mensa. Happy 98.9 FM na midimi juma enei. Se wako show so now nyama KSM Show. Wadaroma unko bebia. KSM Show is the best and numero uno. That's with the king of Adumasa. Your little republic.
The little republic. The little republic.
Well, it's funny, you know. Like joke, you've given what they call it, Adumasa, some PR mileage. Nobody has heard about Adumasa, some little republic.
Anyway, I'm introduced, and he calls his town the Little Republic. The Little Republic. You know, once upon a time, before I became a chief, people in Adumasa would say they came from Akosombo because it was the nearest thing you could recognize. But now they'll tell you Adumasa. And now even surrounding towns will say, oh, their town is closer to Adumasa.
So Adumasa is a brand. But still, you know, before the commercial break, you mentioned when the politics is wrong, everything is wrong. And one thing that you said that I think is so true about your ability to do so many things and take strong measures because you don't have to go to them for their votes.
Yeah.
Is that something that is really worrying us now as a nation? We have to pander to the electorate so that we get their votes, and because of that, we are losing out on other areas.
Imagine if Kwame Nkrumah was the president, right? I mean, do you think some of these caricatures who purport to be churches will be on TV? Kick you out. All these, I mean, you know perfectly well what they're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
It's poisonous for even the young ones watching. Lotto magicians, they touching people's genitals on TV in the name of Jesus Christ. Kick them out. But now they have the majority, they have a vote. So if you want to touch genitals on TV and vote for me, then hey, go ahead. Yes. Vote Namepe. If you want to sell in the street and vote for me, sell. If whatever it is you want to do, so far as you vote for me, be my guest. But if the leader does not need your vote, you think these people are? No, they're all KSM. They're like you and I. If you go and if you are to meet them in their bedroom, they are very passionate at heart. But the dynamic is that no matter how passionate you are, you need to go to them and ask for their vote. So everybody's free this, free that, free this, free that. What nation is built on free? What nation has ever been built on a culture of free? No. Even the simplest or the most of our basic problems, which is family planning, who could be bold enough to say, hey, I don't know, slow down. You're scared. Don't vote for you. And if
I see that this is a particular topic of yours, you know, the population, the growth. You seem to have some passion.
It is. I am hoping that, and funny thing, the youth that I am trying to appeal to get always turn around and insult me that, hey, why are you going to put a gun in our bedroom and stop her doing this, stop her doing that? Because once upon a time, you know, Papa, as we call him, our grandfather, will bequeath you probably, you know, 20, 30 acres of land, which was big back then. You couldn't cultivate it alone with your, you know, so you, Auntie Mavis, you ask Auntie Mavis to get 3 other brides, you know, populate, get like 12, you know, children, so that you cultivate this land. And those days, there were no antibiotics. So even your 12 children, you are lucky to get 7 at the end. Today, you don't have the farm. You have antibiotics. You can't feed yourself, and you have 8 children. Why do you think children are jumping in and out of the Volta River to, you know, hunt for fish nets? Because the mother has 5, 6 children, can't feed herself. So if you come and say, oh, take 500 cedis and give me 3 of your children, I'm going to take them to school. Hallelujah. And it doesn't happen. Listen, everything, 90% of the menace we are seeing around us, population. Why are there 800,000 people on Okada? 800,000 young men on motorbikes say they are going to do commercial. There's nothing wrong with it. But the number should tell you that something is amiss somewhere. The number, there's nothing wrong. I mean, we need motorbikes for courier. Virgin has motorbikes that if you want to go to the airport, they'll come and pick you up. But not 800,000, nearly 1 million. You see, so all these things. Do you know why you have walls on your house with barbed wires? Population. Once upon a time, when you lived in Laboni, there were no walls, there were no gates. Once you you go to UK, people when they go on a holiday, they take the dog to a hotel. The dog no better now. When the dog comes, the thief comes, he will bite it. They take the dog to a hotel and go. The population is managed in such a way that there's equity. So everybody is sort of thinking. It doesn't mean there are no miscreants, but it's minimized. But when the gap is so high, where even a headpan can be somebody's campaign gift, it should be headpan, and then headpan, you should know there's a problem. Once you lower, no matter how poor a woman is, so she can manage. After 8, it's a crisis.
Yeah.
Now the crisis, you are paying you. Your taxes are increased so that she can give birth for free. She goes to the NHIS for free. So if as a state, now your party, you bought a crate of minerals, so fine. And you are saying that everybody is invited. Tell me, there's only 24 bottles. So people come, 48, everybody pay for 2. Then it comes, 98. Okay, we have the bottle back, you better move 4. And that's what you're doing. So it gets to a point where bottle back, 20 people, we have to stop it. But what substance do you make out of it? So to really make substance out of it, you need to only invite 20 people to your party. Everybody has a bottle with 4 to spare. You see, so you can't invite 4. And as I mentioned, literally that's what we've done. We have a crate of minerals and we have told everybody, and BGB. And everybody is coming. Meanwhile, we have only got a crate. So we have to look at the crate and tell people, say, look, because of what we have, in order for me to make a doctor out of your son, we have human resource, we don't have human capital. You see? So in order to turn the resource to capital, you need to stop inviting people to the party. Slow down. Yes, a war year, 2, 3, fine, 2, 3, fine, 2, 3, fine. And then gradually we'll convert them to capital. People say, China is populated. China's population was brutal. I don't even wish it for my enemy. They were literally throwing babies away. China's population is decreasing. They're not going up. So compare China to India. India is going up. China is going down. Look at the economies. Nigeria is doing 5 million babies a year. United States of America is doing 1 million babies a year. It is a simple logic. So in order for us to be able to really make something out of this nation, we must enforce a strong family planning policy and educate people to understand that there's antibiotics. Your children are not going to die anymore. And when you can't even feed yourself.
Makes sense. It makes sense. Do you see it becoming practical in the near future? That there will be any administration that is ruling, that is paying attention to these things. It seems to me that we are just allowing ourselves to go on and on and on and on until, unfortunately, there's some catastrophe, and then that will awaken us. And then from that point, maybe we'll start learning. Is that what we need? We need something like that to wake us up, to jolt us? Or you think that from what I see, I don't see that people will even understand these things, that there are measures which should be taken.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
In 2050, I think we'll be about 50 million in population. As of now, we are 2 million houses short.
As
of today, 2 million houses short. We are not building. So you ask, where will they sleep? The 50 million people know. Where would they sleep? Accra is filled up. Where would they go and work? So these are the things that should jolt us, particularly the youth who always jump up to insult me. I don't mean harm. I mean, I'm just saying, by that time you could be dead and gone. You are the ones that will be facing this harsh reality. It will get to a point where you have to be working with armed guards, because man must survive at all costs.
Yeah.
Where will they sleep?
Yeah.
Where would they eat? Where would they go to school? So these things are the reality that I think we should come together.
And I agree with you perfectly. I agree with you. But sometimes I'm thinking, you know how they say there's a time for everything? Maybe the time for that kind of change hasn't come. And unfortunately, maybe that time will come when we have hit some really bad catastrophe. They will say, hey, Charlie, we don't have to go through what Rwanda went through to become enlightened. We saw what they went through. And it's like we have closed close our eyes to it and gradually also going to hit there before we... Is that what it will take to awaken us?
I wish I had a silver bullet to that answer. I wish I had a silver bullet to that answer. But again, it goes back to, if the politics is wrong, it is difficult to get anything else right. There was my JSS. You know, I really struggled with JSS. Recently, I managed to get hold of JSS. Because when the kids get to adolescence, the teachers can't stand them anymore. They also think they've seen boys and girls, so they can't stand the teachers. So I was struggling. So we formed a debate club and started doing it, and I thought I was able to rescue it a little bit. After Corona and everything, I realized that the kids are not coming to school. So I said, if you don't get 75% attendance, I will not let you write BECE. So again, I called the education people to come and back me. I said, listen, it's a government school. It's a Dumasa JS. If the child hasn't prepared, the fact that it's for government doesn't mean you don't regard it. Because there's a little shed just there. Shed, literally KSM, a shed. But it's a private school. They never miss. It's a shed, a pata. They never miss going under the shed. Yeah. This, which is a complete brick, school with graduate teachers, they don't come because they are buying there. I said, no. Oh my own drop. If you can't make 75% attendance with the excuse, said Dr. B say you were sick and you couldn't come, then wait, next year you write. All of a sudden they start coming to school. Oh, again, if I was going to ask for their votes,
you can't do that.
you can't tell me what time they come to school and when they don't come to school. Yeah. So, wow, we shouldn't hit it. We shouldn't hit it, but it's unfortunate. But population is a major thing on the table. It should be on the first of any manifesto, population. Because you have a crate of mineral and you are now going to start your party. You have a crate of mineral. 24 in the room crate.
So be amra.
Budget. You're going to get people to support your budget, your budget deficit. You know the money you have. Yeah. And you are saying that everybody should come to the party. No. Tell people, where the budget, yeah. So make family planning available. Many women, if you ask them, would say, look, 3 or 4 was good enough, but I can't afford a condom. It's like 8 CDs. Over 5 CDs, why? No more leap. And the reason why they put her on leap, because the whole year she had 50 pesos. Yeah. That's why they put her on leap. But then I got a condom 8 CDs. So you make these things available. I keep telling people, do you think they're gone and tech and Central University, they don't have sex there? Why are they not having babies? It's because they have access to family planning. It's the same if you go to the rural areas and the poor areas. If you give them access to family planning, they would calm down. And teenagers, 14% of babies are unwanted by teenagers. 14%.
And this whole thing, and you talked about if maybe somebody like Cross and Park, certain things didn't go on. This thing about unwanted pregnancies, you ever heard this? And so they go into it thinking, sadly, and they believe that
and don't even put it down to the maybe quote unquote uneducated. You have graduates
who believe that.
Yeah. Really? When Kenofrata is reading the budget, not this Kanasa. Nyami will give you natural resources. Remember I did a show, God of Natural Resources.
Yeah.
The biggest tree in West Africa is in Achim, but a kitchen stool, God won't give you a kitchen stool. The whole West Africa for the amount. Kitchen stool. Wooden spoon, God won't give you. You see, so that's where we are missing the point.
Who used to do
fire stool.
But we are asking for the stool. He's
giving you the corn. Now you have to go and make the kenke. See, you have to go and make the kenke. See, yes, Nyami just gives you the natural.
But you have to use your brains to. I hear you.
Yes, look at how much gold Ghana has. Has God given anybody an earring before? Look at how much gold we have. Asumadi Bahakokra. Ofamao.
Yes. I like talking about these things because I feel that these are the things to do. Yeah. But I'm so worried. How come, as a people, we can see trouble ahead, but we sort of like play the ostrich until we get into the trouble? Is that our problem as a people?
It is our problem. You see, it is our problem in terms that now the nation is, we're literally two nations. We are living to, I mean, today in Ghana, it's very difficult to pass one law. You can't just pass one law and expect, say, it will stick. No. There are people who can abide by it, and there are people who are just simply incapable of abiding by the law. And if the nation gets to that point, we should pause and think. I mean, like when lockdown came, I mean, there are people you can't lock down.
Yeah.
Who locking away? Only door. He's on the pavement. What is he going to lock? store food. Store it where? In front of the shop. You know. So you've passed the law. You've passed the decree. He wants to abide by it.
But that's not. Yeah.
And if there were just one or two who can't, it's normal everywhere. I'm sure even in heaven, I keep saying there will be some homeless angels in heaven. But when you see, when capable men, not a drug addict, not broken-hearted, not divorced, not bankrupted, not mad, but sleeping outside. So because the homeless in America is majority broken heart, bankrupt, drug addict, something. Society. But when the say he's literally outside to survive. We have to be worried. You can't be outside to survive. You can't be. You are outside because you lost survivor. But you can't be outside to survive. Young men. After 2010 survey, there were 10,000 children on the road in Accra alone. 2010, 10,000 children.
That's 2010.
2010 children.
10 years ago.
And now
you can see it. It's so visible. It's so visible.
You know, but the sad thing is, KSM, the young ones, the vibrant ones, the hip ones who are on Twitter and Facebook and stuff, and I was expecting them to say, they will Google and read. Oh, they will just insult you, abuse you left, right, and center.
And it's kind of struck me when you say the young ones who should be understanding these things and who should be concerned. Look at the legacy of death that we are leaving them. They don't care. Why?
I don't know. I really don't know how they missed the point so much. We don't know how they missed the point so much. But next year I'll be 10 years as Ansah Kwao. And so you are invited.
Show some love, man. You've done well. 10 years.
I'll do my little green book. And read out all the things I have done. Borehole here, this here, that there. You know. Account to the people.
Account to the people. What you have done.
In my 10 years.
Fortunately, nobody has to vote for you, so nobody asked for a debate.
You see, no. There will be no debate. And we are going this direction. But you see, even though I sound like a tyrant, I have to do all this thing with the approval of Abusia Penny and your queen mother. Yeah, you do all these things with the approval of your Abusia Penny and your queen mother. So it's not as though no. So sometimes you need to call them and convince them. But my queen mother is a PhD student in Legon. It's not very hard to convince. She switched on to that. So, and of course, I agree with you. Let's roll with it. Let's roll with it. So by the time the decree comes, now, see, that's how come people think that, no. You seek approval indoors. It's not done outdoors.
Okay.
And then you come out and seamlessly put your foot down and say, yep, let's roll with it.
Okay. Show some love, man. When I saw you, I said my biggest problem is going to be time, man.
You see now?
But we have to bring you back and do another session, man. Because I'm interested in getting into a whole area that will take another full show. How do we make the politics right so that everything can become right? But we can't answer that now because time is so. But thank you so much for being here, and we are looking forward to your 10th anniversary next year.
Next year,
of the Little Republic.
Amachi today is there.
Whoa.
Amachi is coming.
Whoa.
So, it's going to be good fun.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah. And I also want to say thank you to Ansah Kwao the third, and Nana Afrakoma the second, i.e. Paramount King, Paramount Queen Mother. They've been really supportive. Otherwise I wouldn't have been able to do what I'm doing. They've been really, really supportive. And Ohenere has been there, doing his charity and everything, making it, big enough for us. So, and my Queen Mother, Ifia Sewa Braketu, she's also been very supportive, because there are other jurisdictions where the chief and the Queen Mother are like literally, a loggerheads. It's, you just can't move forward. She's always there. Look, I got your back. Do it. I got your back. Do it. So, it hasn't been like a solo mission. There are people behind pushing. Yeah.
Okay.
And thanks to you, every now and then I have to come and offload. When I get so stressed, he's there for me to come and offload my problems.
What are fathers for? There's a lot more time. Oh, I hope you had a great time, man. I had a great time talking to my son, the chief, and he brought so many angles that we have to find time and do later. This whole thing about when the politics is right, everything is right. How do we make the politics right? How do we prevent ourselves from walking into a danger zone that we see, but we are still going? But that's for another time. In the meantime, can Nana sign off for me? And I say, in the
meantime, in between time, we are out of here.